OK, so you know the 2020 elections are looming, but you hear a lot of talk about the Electoral College and the popular vote here in California. But why are they important and why should we care which one we use? Well, that's the focus of today's Virtually Rick. And aren't you lucky? So let's get virtual. First up, though, the Electoral College. No, please don't glaze over. I promise I'll make this quick. It was a system the Founding Fathers put in place a long time ago to choose presidents in such a way to fully represent the people rather than just a few states controlling everything. It made sense back then, but now it seems kind of, well, confusing. To explain why the Electoral College might be a good idea, you have to look at this. The popular vote. And that is basically how it sounds. The candidate with the most votes across America wins. Simple, eh? Well, a popular voting system is precisely why we have the Electoral College. Because before it existed, several states could wield all the power because they had the largest number of people in them. And if we went back to that concept now, candidates would spend most of their time in just 3 or 4 of the most populous states, like California, and forget about all the small ones, like tiny Wyoming over here. Oh, but with the Electoral College, we have 51 elections instead of just 1. Now, the Electoral College works state by state. Each state is apportioned a certain number of electors, and so if your candidate wins in your state, they are the actual ones, not the American people, who send their votes to put a president in the White House. There are 538 electors nationally, and for a candidate to win, you need over half the number of electoral votes plus 1 to win. So that's 270. Each state has a different number of electors dependent upon how many people live there. And because California is the most populous state, we have the largest number of electors, 55. But even a state with a small number of electors can be important in a tight race. So the Electoral College's aim is balance. Whether it achieves that or not is open to debate. But let's consider how it factors in the changing nature of the US's population. California's growth was unforeseen by the Founding Fathers, from 90,000 people to nearly 40 million today. What people really get upset about, though, is the fact that a less populated state like Wyoming essentially means each citizen's vote there is literally worth 5 times that of someone's vote in California. But under a popular vote, Wyoming would barely count at all. So how fair is that? The ugly truth is the popular vote is favoured more by those who don't succeed in their presidential bids, and choosing to change to that system could possibly make it less of a balanced affair. And after all, we're only talking a handful of times that the popular vote has differed from the electoral vote throughout the whole history of the United States. So now you know the difference. Which system would you choose? There are powers at work to create a coalition to make the popular vote the thing, but it's highly unlikely to succeed, which means that, like it or lump it, for now, the weirdly confusing power of the Electoral College looks like it's here to stay.